Absolute masterpiece by Andrey Esipenko against Nodirbek Yakubboev in the World Cup third place match. Yakubboev is playing white, starts with knight f3. Esipenko answers with d5. We have g3, knight f6, bishop g2, e6. This is ready opening, but after castle and bishop e7 and c4, this transposes into English opening, but that's not the main thing here. The main thing here is how brilliantly black treated this position. Castle, d3, c5, controlling the center with pawns. Knight jumps to a nice square e5. a6 from Esipenko, queen b3, putting some pressure on the pawn on b7. We have bishop d6 attacking the knight on e5. f4 supports that knight with the pawn. Queen c7, another piece is joining pressure on that knight on e5. Exchange of the pawns on d5. And here, critical moment of the game. The best move for white here was knight c3, very logical move to develop the knight and also to put more attackers on the pawn on d5. Instead, Yakubboev makes a move that it's not characteristic for grandmasters. He takes the pawn on d5. And you ask why this is a problem, because the bishop is protected, so knight takes d5, queen takes d5, and white actually have an extra pawn. But the main problem here is, look at those white squares around white king. Those are very weak, cannot be protected. The only piece that should protect them is a light square bishop. And Yakubboev gave up that light square bishop for a pawn. Even if he gave up it for a rook, it would be a problem for him. And Andrey Esipenko immediately shows how wrong that move was with an absolutely brilliant move, b5. b5, the idea is here to develop the bishop on b7 to put it on a great diagonal. And the trick is white cannot take the rook on a8. If they do, bishop b7 attacking the queen, only one move, queen a7. Then we have knight c6 attacking the queen again. Queen is in the cage, cannot escape, so knight takes c6 as the only move. Queen takes c6, and here we can see why the lack of light square bishop is so important. There is a checkmate on g2 coming. In order to protect yourself from this checkmate, you should play probably e4 or rook f4, doesn't matter. Next move would be bishop b8 attacking the queen, and the queen is lost. No moves. So therefore, you cannot take the rook on a8. Instead, Nodirbek plays knight f3, bishop b7, what a great diagonal for the bishop. Queen goes away to f5, knight d7, developing pieces, connecting the rooks. Absolutely beautiful position with those two monster bishops for black. e4, controlling the center, but immediately Esipenko challenges that center with the move c4. And now all white pawns are becoming very weak. Bishop develops to d3. Here, black could take the pawn on d3, but even better move, Esipenko plays knight c5, putting even more pressure on white pawns, and white's position falls very quickly. e5 attacking the bishop. Bishop simply goes away, opening the diagonal for a light square bishop. Exchange of the pawns on c4, and white develops the knight on d2. Esipenko puts his knight on d3, and what a square for a knight. He controls the whole game here. h4, pretty much agony for white. The rook joins attack for Andrey Esipenko. Rook b1, passive move, probably to protect the pawn at b2, but nobody is interested in the pawns here. Another strong move, bishop c5, eliminating a dark square bishop, another defender for the king. The exchange is inevitable. Queen takes c5 with the check. King goes to h2, and queen penetrates into white's castle with the move queen e3. Nodirbek plays g4 and runs into a beautiful knight sacrifice, an absolutely crazy move, knight c1. Knight c1, opening the file for the rook. Knight c1 is under attack from both white rooks. And the game ended very quickly. You could see in the video how Esipenko makes this move. Nodirbek understands he is lost in this position. He took the knight with the rook. Immediately got rook takes d2. If knight takes d2, queen takes d2, no matter where the king goes, there is a checkmate on g2, because remember this bishop is a monster here. So Nodirbek played king g3 and resigned after the next move. Very simple move, queen e2. And the checkmate on g2 is again pretty much inevitable. If h5 to escape like this with the king, then simply bishop takes f3, rook takes f3, queen h2, checkmate. So this was a real masterpiece by Andrey Esipenko. Great job by him. You remember that blunder of a rook in the semifinals against Wei Yi? That was the blunder of the year. But he got himself together and played two great games against Nodirbek Yakubboev, got the third place, got into the candidates tournament. Good job. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And thank you for watching.